out. There we go. Okay, so apparently my face was not meant to be seen today. I guess I can show down. Hopefully this is showing. Is the screen showing? Hopefully. You should see my workspace. I just want to make sure. There you are. Okay, because my screen, one of them is showing black. And I'm not quite sure. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys can see me, see what I'm doing today. I don't know what happened. It was showing my face, and then it was gone. It was just absolutely gone. So all right. So we have my hands showing. Hopefully. Oh, good. You can. Perfect. Perfect. Because my screen is black, so this will be interesting. Oh goodness. It's not a fun, crafty adventure if we don't have a little, getting lost. We can see you. The screen turned black, but it's okay now. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I have a little guy that covers, like when I'm not using my camera, but he wasn't on there and he makes it blue. Angel! Hello, Angel. I haven't seen Angel in forever, and I say see, but you guys get it. All right, I'm super stoked today. We are going to continue the crafty fun with the release from these subscriptions because they're amazing. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to have a play today with the Esplanade Flowers. I believe that's how you say that. Yes, share away today, all my friends, because there is a chance to win a $15 gift certificate to the shop. Hello, everyone, as you're coming in. There's the Amy Hill. Hello, Amy Hill. All right, so today we're going to have a play. If you are not familiar with the Build-A-Garden kit, and just to let you know, this is a subscription, a service that you can get. With this month's kit, you get this amazing stamp set, and you get the stencil set, and you also get a mini blending tool every month. This month in the shop, you can also purchase an add-on die set, which will cut out all your flowers and leaves. I don't think we're going to do this today. I think we're just going to hang, and I think we're going to do some stenciling, adding in some color and definition all on our own, because although Altenew has a beautiful design, and Emery Casey is coming because, of course, the blending tools are out. So she is saying hello to all of her crafty friends before she gets down on the floor. Brain cramp. Where I was going. Emery distracted me. All right. So we're going to focus on the stencil set today. We're going to add depth and definition by using our colors. And I feel like when I was talking to Ryan when he was a kid, use your words. Now we're using our colors, my friends. We're using our colors. And the wonderful thing about these stencils is they have the outline on there, and it makes this technique really, really super duper easy to do. And I think you get a really, really great effect from it. And as well, on here, all of the flowers are layered. So you have A1, B1, C1. You also can add in the lines if you would like to. So, and Emery hair. It probably did. It probably went out and about there. Emery's hair goes everywhere. So you can also put these in for a little definition, or you can leave them off. So here's what I mean. They put them in on these flowers here. Okay. So we're going to do it without the detail layer today, but you can do that, and you can do it with the ink blending. It would be beautiful. You also have, for the leaves, we also have layering stencils this month, which is amazing. And the sentiments, oh, the fonts, woohoo. We also have some of the lines, veins, definition for the leaves as well. So very, very exciting. We're going to go ahead. We may use the little stameny fellas. Amy would know the name of those. Oh no, it got to Angel, the Emery hair. I'll have to send Emery a card to have, so Angel can have her own Emery hair. So yeah. All right, so we're going to begin. And when I do this, I try to make sure to leave, leave some space. If you want to make sure, although I'm not using the stamp, you could bring the stamp over and you could put it into place. And then you can put your stencil over the part that you're going to begin, which I'm going to begin right there. And then you know it's aligned. So you leave your stencil, you pull that out, and you're good to go. All right. Thank you for all the sharing and the thumbs up, because we at Alt New love to share crafty time with you. Hello, Helen. Okay, there we go. Yes, we need Amy for all the, when we start stamen talk, we need Amy on the scene. All right. So, and I can actually, it's funny, I've crafted so long without my amazing stamp wheel. So sometimes I forget that it'll hold my stencil and my ink pad until I go to start. And then I'm like, silly, silly gal, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's been a week. My brain is not here. I probably should have warned you about that. My brain is gone. So it's really, really an exciting crafty adventure because my brain is out this week. Alrighty. So we're going to put our piece. I always leave these little alignment guides in here. I'm lazy. And I always say I would be the lazy crafter if I was not Bridget Casey Designs. So I always leave this in here. It's stencil material. If I get something on it, I can clean it up. So I'm lazy. So make sure you check those alignment guides out. There are 4 popular sizes, of course, our A2, and that's the one that lives inside my stamp wheel. So the reason having the stamp wheel is super duper wonderful is because it holds my stencil in place, and I can also put my little cube up there so you guys can see what I'm doing, and I can put my other cube right there. I probably will switch these because this one has the stencil material and this one will actually hold my cube. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to begin by adding, I want the darkness right here in this petal. Now you have a choice, and this is a great question for everybody out there today. When you do stencil layering, so if you're going to put 4 colors, because I'm going to put 4 colors on all of these, do you do each color? Do you go through individually and then go back through with the color, or do you go through the colors as you go? So right now, I'm going to put that to the side, and I'm going to come in with my Alpine Aster, and I'm going to switch my blending tools because that's the whole point of having them. Oh, yes, the kit. There are some seats, in case you're wondering. They opened up registration again. Very, very limited seats. So if you're like, oh, I missed it. I missed for the retreat that's coming up on May 13th, the Secret Garden Retreat. Make sure you head on over. I am sure the amazing Angel can put the link in the chat to go check out registration for that. The kit is phenomenal. I would venture to say, in my humble opinion, it's the best kit I've ever seen from Alt New. Love, love, love this kit. So make sure you check that out if you haven't already. Yay, Joni got hers. Very, very exciting. All right, so Indigo Skies. So I'm just going to add a little bit here. Okay. And then you're like, whoa, Batman, that's pretty dark, because that's what I'm thinking right now. So, but we're going to lift that up. And look, we have a beautiful petal. Aw, we have a petal. Yes, yeah, there are some exclusive colors in this kit. Maybe that is a determining factor for you. They are phenomenal. They're so beautiful. And especially if you're in a winter state, these colors are refreshing. It makes you feel like winter really will end and spring actually will come. I know. Yeah, Tracy, do I happen to know? Well, I know the beautiful Jennifer McGuire, the beautiful Laura Bassett, the amazing JC Gasper. He's beautiful too. Everybody's beautiful. Are all teaching in there. Gussa Wiley, And yes, I will be there as well. I'm so honored and excited. I'm actually wearing color from creating projects for it. So I'm very colorful today because of creating projects for the retreat, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, so check that out. All right, so now we're moving on to A2 for the stencil. And Emery is trying to figure out how she could help since I said no. It's kind of like having a kid. She's still trying to figure out how she can be of assistance. All right, and I keep holding my stencil because I have this in here so it won't stick because I have my guide in there. But again, I like my guide in there. I'm okay with, making sure that I'm lined up and just holding it. All right, so again, I'm going to come in. I'm going to add the darker color. Okay. Oh, Emery Casey. She's a cutie. She just loves to help, and it's hard because you can't be upset for somebody who just wants to help you. They just want to help you. All right, next we have gorgeous crystal violet. And then, so I kind of, with my first ink, I'm putting it everywhere, okay? And then when I get to my second, I start outlining where I'm gonna go, where I want it to be darkest, okay? And this is my darkest color. So I kind of follow that pattern. So I have a layout, essentially. Like I know where I'm going. It's not a surprise. This is like going to grandma's. You've done it lots and lots of times. So there's really not a lot of twists and turns and the like, So ta-da! It just, I love this technique. It's so simple, but it's so pretty. All right, and then now I'm lining up the A3 outline part. The A1 is outlined here, and that's super duper helpful. And now, because I'm on this side, I can stick that down. We'll go back. So I didn't see, what do folks do? Do folks do color, or do folks do one layer at a time and then go back through with your colors? So do you go through the whole stencil with one color and then go through the whole stencil with another color? Or do you do it kind of like this, where you do each opening one time and then you have your project? Just curious how the world works out there, how everybody else is crafting in there. Okay, I have a blending tool for each of these colors, but I keep just using the same one. Out of habit. Oh, well, this is supposed to be my water hyacinth one. Oh, well, that's okay. I'm going through them so quickly that I kind of wasn't paying attention. You do one color at a time. Okay, what else do we have out there? What else is going on? All right, then coming in with the crystal violet. I always think of my mama on this one because my mama's crystal. And it's spelled the Crystal. So it matches. So I always think of da mama. All right. Mama squatch. Each opening at a time, one color at a time, one color at a time. Beautiful. Yeah, I love these because these colors, they satisfy my blue love, and apparently Emery Casey as well. But they also have that kind of indigo violet-y, color. So I love it. I love the sharing of the bluish purplish color, because I'm a blue girl. But this type of purple I'm into. Like this is my jam. I like it. So you can see our flowers kind of coming together. It's got some depth there. And we have our last little piece. And I think this is my favorite piece. Looks like a tongue sticking out. Oh, that piece always cracks me up. When our kids are little and they're like, no, I'm not going to bed. Stick the tongue out. Oh, goodness. It's funny. I actually went to dinner with my son last night. And it's funny to think of the old days, when go to bed. No. And now he's all grown up. Okay. I do these, and I was picking colors today, and I'm like, oh, these guys are going to be like, come on, lady. You got to use something else. But I can't. And I'm using the wrong blending tool. Oh, well. That's been my kind of week. I just, I'm doing it wrong. So, yeah. And today, Dexy was nice enough to dump an entire bucket of water onto a project that did not need water and the floor. And yeah, he was, I don't even have an adjective for how helpful that was today. But, you know, again, and I shouldn't have left the water unattended. I thought I could get away with it, but I was wrong. So, lesson learned, never leave water with little furry people. All right. And then finally, my indigo skies. And again, you know, and that's, you may like it lighter. I like the drama that you get from having those white spaces and then the dark spaces. All right, so we're going to move those. We're going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle over there. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello. So there is our first flower. Okay. And then now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some leaves. So I recommend, if you're doing this method where you're not using the stamp. Now at this point, I did get a little blue there, but that's all right. We can splatter or something. This point, you could come in and you could put on the lines of definition if you wanted to. I would recommend doing it in your darkest color. If you want to put the lines in, but I love that they gave us the option. I love that I can do it either, with a line, but the flower is empty and I can really let it breathe. I can just use the stencil. I can use the lines, and I think you can make some cool backgrounds with the leaves as well, because you guys know I love to do that. All right, so I think for the leaves, I'm going to use, because I'm not going to mask anything, so let's use the G leaf. We'll start with G, and you guys may think that I am taking out the beautiful greens today. I am not. I am taking out the browns. So we're going to take out the brown inks today. We're going to start with pink sand. And so I'm going to go up, and I'm just going to kind of place this in here. So I've got my G1 here, and then I'm going to try to use the right blending tool. Hello, everyone. Hello, as you're coming in. It's so good to see you all. All right, so what I'm going to do here, just so I make sure I have my space, okay, I'm going to bring these over. Okay, and then I'm just going to make sure I have my whole leaf in there. So now what we can do, we did pink sand. Now we'll come over, maybe. I need Joni here to open my cubes. Joni's the cube master. Oh, wonderful. Glad you found us. I know. I love the greens too, Amy. I wanted to use them, and I'm like, no, stop. Do something different. Although, if you remember my last live, I used blues. I used blues and browns. So maybe I'm not as... I told myself to stop and do something different, and, maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. All right, so I'm trying to remember. It is Angel. It is the amazing Angel. I haven't seen Angel in a while, so I was so excited. So it's the amazing Angel behind the badge today, folks. All right, so just see, look at the difference. And you can leave that. I think that's a beautiful option if you wanted to leave that there like that. You don't have to, fill in the other side. So we can do that. Oh, we can use the greens. We'll go wild. We can use the greens as well. All right. So I think, let's see. I could have moved this over a little bit, but I'm okay. I'm not as, I do get a little nervous about it, but not as bad. I used to be like, oh, the card's ruined. That's it. But it's not ruined. Okay, so I'm going to just look here. Okay, and see if I want this F leaf in here. I don't know that I do. I think it's kind of big. So if we can fit the E, I think we can fit the E in there pretty good. So we'll grab our stencil, and these are all labeled, so I'm not even looking at my guide. I'm just going by my stencils. I'm just going through my stencils till I see who I'm looking for. So we have E. So I'm going to put that right in, like if you're playing pool, I'm going to put it right in the pocket, and hopefully it all fits in there. So we will again go back to, I have my little guide in there, so part of my stamp wheel isn't sticky, but that's okay. That's the way I like it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I just love that it holds my ink cubes. That just makes me so happy. All right, and then here, I am going to go ahead and stick my finger in the ink because, you know, it's crafting. I am going to put some of the Dusty Rose, and I'm going to put that right up in the top because it would be darker in there. So it's important to have, you know, that darker kind of color in there. For me, you make this however it fits for you. Okay, and then the E. All right, then I'm going to put this here. And then I think what I'm going to do, because this one has like a definition layer or a darker layer, so I think we're going to start over here. We're going to start with the Dusty Rose, and then we'll add a little detail with the Toasted Mauve. Okay, I've mixed up my blending tools again. I think this is the right one. All right, so I'm just going to add, I mean, it's a little spot, but I just want some of that in there. And remember, if you look at this and you're like, oh, this doesn't look right, blah, blah, blah. Remember, this has to soak into the paper. Okay, your inks are quick dry, they're not instant dry. And I am going to look at my guide for this one because I don't recall, and he's a little sliver. So in here, we have this, and it goes up in the corner. Okay, so this little guy goes up in the corner. Did I do him backwards? I don't know what it is about this one. I do it backwards a lot. Okay, apparently I didn't. All right, we're going to skip that. We're going to leave that. There's only 2 layers on the other one. We're going to do that. It's been that kind of day. Again, I told you my brain is not with us. So much, yeah. Does the stamp wheel hold the ink mini? Yes. Yep. Yeah, that's how I put them up in the corner usually, and then it doesn't move. So it's, see, all good to go. All right, so we have kind of 3 things there. I could put another leaf in there. Let's see, which leaf do I like the looks of? D might be able to fit. Actually, I do like this one. I like the original one that we used, our G. So I think I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to tuck another G in here. Okay. And if I go a little bit over the thing, it's okay. Because we'll do it this way. We'll start with G2. So that means that I'm going to put some Dusty Rose right here. And it's good I have my guide in there because I'm going off the page. That's why I like to keep my guides in there all the time. Okay, and we'll spread that out. I did wipe my tool off and don't want to do that. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to come in and stick our finger in there, and then we'll come in with the Toasted Mauve. We should play a fun game. How many times do I grab the wrong blending tool? Oh, goodness. Okay, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to align here. All right, and this one, we're going to come in with the pink sand. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with the Dusty Rose as my highlight. So there we have kind of our leaves, and you can add more. I like more leaves. I probably would add a few more. And then you can add your sentiment on there. I was going to grab a block. The olden days, the olden days. Okay. Let's see. I did proud of you on one I've made. Let's do I'm thinking of a dear friend, so I'm gonna do be happy, LOL. Okay, so we're going to put this on here. I do still use, my old transparency. You can make these at home, but I still use mine to line up my stamps, and I'm kind of making sure my H is down and my P's are lined up. My P's and Q's. And then this little fella likes my fingernail. So I'm going to get out a pair of scissors. Oh, if you get something sharp, apparently they line right up. Oh, goodness. Okay. So we're going to go here, and then my transparency, I can move it. I know it's lined up. I just want to make sure it's lined up on my project. I'm happy with how that is. So then I'll move my little ink cubes over and my blending tools. I lock two of my stamp wheel in first. Okay. So I lock two of the corners in first. Then I have it go down, push, pick up my stamp, then flip your flip plate. Then we will come. Hello, everyone. Hello. I know those mini ink blending brushes, those don't really leave my hand. I love those. I do love those. And if you use them a lot, you can kind of get into smaller areas. I do have the detail ones, and I love those too because they're angled and they really get into small spaces. But I do love my mini ones. Okay. So here we have like a one layer kind of card. Okay. Seems the stamp will make stenciling. Yes, and I do love that. That's one of my favorite things because I as well love to stencil. It's also great for watercolor. It holds your paper. I've artist marker colored in there. I've used the new markers that just came out in here as well. So lots and lots of wonderful things you can do with the stamp wheel. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go through and we're going to do our flowers. And because of the request, we will, yeah, see, I'll show you the card. See, last week I tried to change my colors, but I ended up with the same colors. Oh, goodness. Since we had a request for the greens, we'll throw the greens in. Angel's used to me at this point. She knows. There's going to be a few, stops at the convenience store and a few things like that going on. So she knows. All right. So let's start with our pink sand. And we're using our bee flower. Okay. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to cover all of this with my pink sand. But I do kind of start defining my areas that I know I want darker. And then next we'll have our dusty rose. I'm just using the same one for now. All right. And then I'm getting my darker areas in there. My toasted mauve. Okay. And I'll try to control myself a little bit more, but I love. And especially once it completely soaks in. Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. You guys are the bestest. Bestest. Especially when the ink really soaks into the paper, like, it's dyed, the fibers. Oh, it's so pretty. It's just so pretty. It's pretty now, but because it dries back a little later. So there we go. We have our flower. I can come in because we're not using anything else at this point. So we'll come in, and then we have B2 because I feel like we're playing bingo. So I'm going to line that up. I have to stand on my tiptoes so I can see. Okay, there we go. The joys of being short. All right. Okay, so we got that. And pink sand. Ah! No, this is... and it's my pink sand brush too. It's because I had redwood, but that's all right. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. I just thought I had wiped it all off. I have just bought myself some new microfiber cloths. Isn't that exciting? See, you guys are the only ones that understand that it's very exciting to have new, clean, well, used to be clean, very brief time ago, microfiber cloths. It's so exciting when you have new ones. So I just bought myself, I treated myself to some new microfiber cloths. Okay, and then my toasted mauve. And yep, this sticks right down in there. All right, I'm going to use at least a light and a dark. This is the darker one. So we'll try to do that so I don't get surprised again. It was a good surprise though. I think it'll be a pretty surprise. All right, so we got that there, and then we'll come in finally with the redwood. Okay, and we're just going to add that there. And it's the drama. I know the darks are usually scary to add, but it's that drama. It's really what shows the lightness of your other flowers is that darkness. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you guys like the colors. These are just, whew, they're so beautiful. The colors are just so gorgeous. This is one of my favorite sets. And before it was the Martian terrain and those, and it's, you know, they come out in a pack of 3, and usually I'm pretty obsessed with all 3 of the colors because I love it. You don't have to think about it. You know they go together. So I think that's just, it's wonderful because a lot of times I craft because my brain is done. It doesn't, you know, the shirt, I don't want to adult anymore. And, you know, that's when I craft, I don't want to have to think about things sometimes. Dusty Rose now. And so I love, you know, that Altenew does do that for us. They put inks together that, you know, 3 families that look good together. They layer the inks for us. We just have to, you know, take these products out and make something pretty with it. So it's lovely to not have to think about, you know, color theory or putting this together or that together sometimes. Sometimes it's fun to have a play. But other days, you know, it's nice to just not. To just kind of, you know, follow what is kind of been outlined for you and easily put things together. It's why I love the artist marker sets as well. Don't have to think. Yes, and that's the thing. If you, it's scary. I know it's scary. But if you can get over the scary part and really commit to adding in those really dark areas, then you're going to have that drama. You know, you're going to have instantly. Now, this is a simple coloring stencil. You can just block one color. That's fine. But I just want to, I always like to show this as well because you can add a lot of depth and definition just by adding these inks. As you go through, just grab an ink family. There are also some color ideas on the website if you want to put in the jewel tones or frozen delights, and lots of ideas there. And this isn't sticking again because I have my little guide in there, but it likes to live in there. The guide and the stamp wheel, they're good buddies. So can't separate them. It would be like, you know, separating Emery and Dexy. So here's that flower, okay? And then we'll do the sea flower because we had not done that one yet. Okay, maybe I just had the, oh, there it is right in front of me. Oh, Sarah, you got to bring these out, my love. These are so pretty. So pretty. All right, so I think what I'm going to do, yeah, all right, I think I'll be okay here because I'm going to use the coordinating dies. So I think I'm okay if I start there. If I'm not, all I would do is I would die cut as much as I could, and then I would position the flower so that my die cut worked for me. So that was pink sand. We're going to go to dusty rose. All right, we'll get that put on there. And you can't do this wrong. That's the beauty of this. You really can't, you know. I think, as with everything, I think this would be beautiful in a rainbow. If you wanted to do like a little rainbow with this flower, different leaves, different petals, different colors, I think that would be absolutely stunning. But I think a lot of times, you know, we overlook brown as a color for a flower, which, you know, oh yes, Frozen Delights. Head to the website. There's an amazing section that tells you how to combine Frozen Delights with some of your other ink families, which I think is just fantastic because I'm more likely to use them. They're beautiful on their own, but when I can really add them together and create something else, you know, the more I can do, the more happy I am, you know. All right, so this is going to go over into my petal if I make it go all the way out. So what we're going to do a little, as my husband would say, we're going to do a little side step, okay? So we're not going to go, we're just going to kind of go out to there. All right, that was pink sand. Sticky, but that's what we want. And then dusty rose. Okay, so yeah, I should have put it down further in the corner. I get so excited crafting with you guys, I don't always pay attention to where I am. All right, toasted mauve. But there's always a way to make it work. There's always a way. All right, I'm going to come in here and then up there. And then finally for this one, have redwood. And that's that beautiful dark color. Okay, and then here, over here. All right. Oh, I got some over there. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to wipe this off before I put it back down. So I think I just pushed down on the stencil and got some down there. All right, so now we're going to come in with C3. Oh, Emery, no. Okay, she's trying to snuggle with my lighting. Oh, goodness. Okay, so back to pink sand. Okay, I'm going to come in here. And this one, I think I can make work most of the way there. Oh, we're going to just go for it. We're going to go for it. Let's go for it. If it's a little close, that's okay. All right, now we'll go here. Okay, and going to go here, up here. And then that's the first thing I've seen. Oh, all right. Okay. Get that put there. And then that was the toasted mauve. We'll finish with our redwood, of course. We need that nice dramatic color. And you could, because these are kind of tucked in between leaves, you really could go wild with the redwood, I think, there. And I think that will be absolutely beautiful. So, ta-da! Okay, and you can see I am heavily inking. There's ink lines in there because I'm putting a lot of ink on there. So make sure you wipe off your stencils as you go because you can transfer that. So, okay. And then making sure to wipe both sides. Because you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, you can see right there, see the ink? The ink is just sitting there. So I'm going to be very, very careful when I add this final petal in. I'm going to try not to move it. Okay, so there we have our pink sand. Okay. And again, this petal's really close to that other one. I planned poorly. I thought I was further down the page and I wasn't. So in theory, we could fussy cut, but no. So it's a good theory fussy cutting, fussy cutting. I've been fussy cutting a lot today, so that's why I'm like, fussy cutting. Oh, good. I'm so glad yeah, try some colors. You know, I like putting grays with teals and all of that, you know, so mix it up. You know, that's kind of the thing that you want to do. All right. So, because I love you all so much, I'm going to be tough. Now, my fussy cutting is horrific, so you know, just it's a skill I'm working on. We all have one that, you know, we're working on. And I love when they come out with dies, so I don't have to fussy cut. So, but I think I'm better off fussy cutting this because I can leave a little bit of a border and kind of fix it a little bit better than if I were using the die. And I'm going to fussy cut this one first because that one, you know, I did put a lot of ink and you could see it was still kind of sitting there waiting for me to do something with it. So, and we will use the greens on this one. Okay, so we'll go over. We need some fussy cutting music because it gets really quiet. All right. So yeah, this is something that I will probably always work on as a crafter. This is a skill that I kind of avoid, like COVID. People used to say the plague, but I avoid fussy cutting. I avoid it. And the only way to get better at it, you know, eye-hand coordination, is to do it. So I've got to be tougher and I just need to embrace it. Now, the other thing you can do is if you're like, amen, I can't fussy cut either, you can cut right up along the lines. And that would solve two of my problems because I could, that way I don't have to worry that I don't have any additional room there. That would help me immensely. And that's probably what I should have done. So, but that's okay. We're going to try to make it work. And then we'll make a few leaves. We'll make an arrangement with this one. Okay. I don't need extra paper there. I know, that's the thing. It's fussy cutting. And, you know, I try to always, Lydia's like an ace at it. And I watch her and I'm like, I can do that. And it never looks as beautiful. But she fussy cuts a lot. So I'm like, okay, if I fussy cut like Lydia, if I'm tough like Lydia and I fussy cut, you know, it's going to be better. I'm gonna be able to like my fussy cutting. And, you know, I've never had anybody say, oh, wow, your card would have been beautiful if, you know, the outline was a little better. So I don't think it's too terrific. We're our own worst critics, I think, is the lesson of the day on fussy cutting. I'm sure all of your work is beautifully fussy cut as well. We're just picky when it comes to our own stuff. All right. So if I can pick that up. So see, here we have our two flowers. You know, this one, it'll, you know. So we got those. So I'm going to cover my ones. And Amy had asked if we could use the frosted foliage. And why would we say no? Of course we can use frosted foliage. All right. We got paper everywhere. Dexy is going to have so much fun later, you guys. He likes to wear it like a bolo tie. First he runs around. He looks like he has a mustache. Oh, oh, thank you. Yeah, I think it's just, I think we're tough on ourselves with some techniques or, you know, like fussy cutting. Like I'm tough on myself. I'm like, oh, you didn't leave a perfect, you know, 1/8 inch line. You went in a little too close here. Or I think we all have that stuff that we're just a little nervous about or a little we don't like that we do. But I think the important thing to remember is keep doing it. Keep doing it. And because, you know, nobody else notices it. We notice it because it's us. but nobody else does. You know, everybody else just sees the beautiful card with the sentiment, knowing that you were thinking of them and you love them, and that's all they see. So that's the key point to remember. All right. Just checking. Have to say yes, and I agree. That is good advice, Barb. You have to look back and see your whole project. You can't just judge one section of it. All right, so you guys know how I feel about the G leaf. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the G leaf. And I think what we're going to do to make my life easier, and I can go out just a little bit here. What I'm doing to make my life easier is I'm just going to line these up. So I'll put my covers right outside, okay, because I don't really need the covers except to know what they are, because I don't have labels on these yet. So I'm just going to put them right outside, but I have all my colors right there. I have my blending tools. Of course, I'm not going to use them how I'm supposed to, because I'm going to just keep using the same one. All right, so I'm going to put my G here. And now I'm going to fussy cut these too, you know, to kind of keep the whole tone there. Of course, here I go again. Dipping into the same thing. That's all right. That's okay. And then I'm even going to go up to eucalyptus. Okay, and then a scotch, like the smallest part of forest fern. All right, and then we're going to move it. And I'm trying not to wiggle too much next to my ink because, again, it's fast drying. It's not instant. So I don't want to pull that ink either. And look, Angel, she's so good. It doesn't matter how quick of a corner I take. She's right there with me. All right. Her and Han, I think, have special, they just know. They have like crafty vision. They just kind of know where you're going with it. So there's leaf number 1. I think we'll make a couple of those. I really like that. I like how it came out. I'm happy with it. So I'm going to make a couple. And I'm pulling some of the darker ink and making a mess. All right. Let's see my beautiful, it was beautifully and clean about 45 minutes ago. All right. So I think we're going to just do 3 of the G leaves. And we'll fussy cut those because unfortunately, my friends, our time is coming to an end, unfortunately. As you know, I could craft with you for 24 hours. All right, and then put that in there. So pretty. All right, and then I'm wiping that off a little. I'm going to wipe off my thing, and we'll do 1 more G. And then we'll fussy cut those, and we will put together a card. All right. Okay, and that one, it had a lot left over, so I'm going to skip to eucalyptus because I think that's what was left on my brush. That's why I'm trying to use 1 for each color so that doesn't happen. But sometimes it doesn't work. All right, and then again, I can see my ink is wet, so I'm trying to line it up and then just push down and then now not move it because I don't want to move that ink. And then I'll try to pick it straight up when I pick it up. Okay, so there we go. Yes, the blue combination is good. I know there's a group, let me tell you, of probably 10 gals immediately ready for 24-hour crafty time anytime, which is amazing. It is amazing. I'm so grateful that I'm in this phenomenal community with crafters like all of you guys. It makes it so much better to have this amazing community and share our passion and our lives. And, you know, Altenew put this all together and brought us all together. So that's amazing. I was just looking for my little blasting cube there. So I'll put those to the side. We've got these, which I will fussy cut because I love you all so much. Yeah, these greens, whew, I tell you, they are life-changing. Life-changing. And so I just want to show you, you know, we have a lot of these simple coloring stencils, but just because it's not a layered stencil, and I'm using air quotes there, layered stencil, doesn't mean it can't be, you know, a layered stencil. You can create a layered stencil from anything. You just add more colors. You could add definition 2 with markers or pencils. All right, I don't like that, but that's okay. We agreed on the fussy cutting. I just may not agree that they come out great, but that's okay. We will have leaves. We will have flowers. So that's the whole kit and caboodle there. All right. I'm trying to turn so it's not a sharp point, but I avoided that. All right. And this looks like my house right now because my lawn is a mixture of brown and green. So I'm kind of crafting a card that looks like my lawn today. A little bit. It's got patches. It's trying to grow. It really is. But we had 70-degree days last week, and then this week we're back to 40s. If you guys could have seen me, I have my permanently tired sweatshirt on because it's a little chilly. It's the sun's out, but a little chilly. And I just found my little sweatshirt. I love this thing. It's so comfortable. Okay. And these ones don't have labels yet. Hopefully, Altenew thinks of everything. So hopefully that's something that's coming to our crafty horizon. All right, so I think what we're going to do, because again, I would be the lazy crafter if I were not Bridget Casey Designs. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to stamp this again. All right, and then we'll just flip that. And that's the great thing about always having my little alignment tool in there, is that I don't have to worry. I just put my paper in and we're good to go. And then, of course, life is not complete for me without my instant dimension foam tape. I'm willing to pay the price at the post office. I love me some dimension, so I'm okay with paying the price. So we're going to go ahead. Let's see how we're going to lay this out. So I have an odd number, which is good. Now you could, if you wanted to, let's do it. We have a little bit of time here. Let's do this. We can stamp the stamens, right, Amy? Stamens. All right, I'm trying to see. Okay, we're going to use this one apparently twice because I only see, it's probably looking right at me. I only see, oh, the little one goes there. Okay, I was going to say, I only see that. All right, so this one has a little one. So, and I am going to just hand stamp because I don't want to clean my sentiment. Again, lazy crafter. So I am just going to take a block. And so what you can do, what I would do, or what I'm going to do, I guess, is what I would do. Well, I'm doing it, so I guess what I'm doing is, and you could do this with, you know, a marker as well if you wanted. But I'm just going to come in, stand on my tiptoes, and just kind of put this in the best I can. Okay. Dink. All right. So there, I have those there, and then we just literally rip the stamp off, throw it back on the carrier sheet, and then we'll bring in this little guy, and we'll do the same thing. So I think even though you have it ink blended, I think this adds just a little something that makes, you know, even more detail. Like you've gotten a lot of detail with using your blending and using 4 colors on each of your steps. However, this gives even more detail to it. So I think we're going to have this one. I think we're going to go there. So this one is going to get popped up. So let us grab our scissors. Okay. All right. And I love foam tape, so I usually put a lot. You don't have to put as much. All right. So I'm going to pop that there. All right. So now I have that where I can kind of put that there. And then now I'm going to decide where I want to put my leaves. I usually like to have one at least coming down to kind of hug my sentiment. And I may tuck this one in a little bit more and then put my other one kind of up there. So I think that's where we're going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this off on the back. Peel, peel, peel. All right. And then I'm going to place that kind of how I wanted that. And then as you can see, some of my stuff is sticking, some of my stuff isn't. So that's when I peel my card up. So that didn't stick my leaf, but that's okay. And I showed this in a video recently. I will then take my glue and just pop it behind because most of my stuff has stayed. Okay, that's really a lot of glue. Hopefully that doesn't come out. All right, and then I have to decide which side I like better. I think I like it going that way. So I want it to go this way, so I'll put a dab there. Okay. I'm going to put that down in there. Now normally I'd use my glue tape pen, but because I've already glued part of the leaves down with my foam tape and they're in position, that way I don't lose what my arrangement was supposed to look like, meaning how I created it. Because there's no supposed to, but you know, if you have a vision and you've made your vision and you know, you are so worried that you're gonna lose it when you pick stuff up, I recommend the foam tape method because the foam tape holds it while you know, put everything down and get it in place. And then we have this one as well. And if, you know, I'm looking at that and I'm like, whoa, pretty plain. So, you know, I may add some sequins or some splatter to those cards because but you know what? Plain is good. Plain is good. A clean and simple card is good. And I would classify these as clean and simple. But I hope this will help you to look at your inks and your simple coloring stencils and see that they don't have to be simple coloring stencils. You can add dimension, you can add depth to your card just by playing with color a little bit. So I hope that helped, and I hope this helped you to fall in love with the Esplanade Flowers. And again, there is a die set. I got my flowers too close, but there is a die set that'll cut all 3 flowers and all of your leaves out. So if you're like me and you're like, fussy cutting, there is a die set. But again, this is part of the monthly Build a Garden set, which is always, always just breathtaking and amazing. And you always get a stencil, which I love because I am a stencil girl. That's where I'm living. So that's where it is right now. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. I will try. I don't think my screen is still black, so I don't know if you guys can see me if I come up or not. Oh, I'm there. My screen's black. So hopefully you can see me and not just a black screen. But thank you so much again for joining us. From all of us at Altenew, we just want to say thank you so much for allowing us to help you craft your life, and we'll see you very, very soon. Until then, happy crafting. Bye, everyone.